super happy right now. I am still in it, still living, surviving. What's up? So yeah, it's pretty dynamite.
Final 6. It's insane that 10 people are gone and there's only 6 people left. It feels like a lot more people have been gone, but it's been such a long journey. It's been so much fun. But finally made it to Final 6.
Jonathan and Will thought that Leah and Kayla were gonna vote for me, and then me and Charlie were gonna vote for Kayla. So they were gonna split the vote on me and Kayla so that it would go to a tie vote, and then they could decide from there. Which I think was a dumb move on their part, but that's what they went for. But we stick together, and we got Jonathan out of here. I'm so excited about it.
So now we can basically vote out Will. I mean, that's going to be the plan, unless I hear otherwise.
I think, honestly, at this point, I think I have a better chance of staying in without Jonathan. It's tough that he got voted out. I honestly didn't really expect it. But Leah and Kayla just did not trust him at all. But I think they trust me. I hope they do. If they don't, then I have no hope at this point.
For some reason, Will thinks that, like, we're in an alliance. Like, me, him, and Leah are in a 3 alliance, which we never agreed to. But he just kept saying, like, he trusts us the most, which I don't know why, because we never said that we would be in an alliance with him. So hopefully he doesn't try and use that against us at the end, where he's gonna be like, we were in an alliance, because we never said that we were in an alliance. Did we? I don't think we did.
I don't know why they would vote me at this point. Voting Leah, from their perspective, makes the most sense. Especially because, like, if they vote me, then the girls will have just that alliance, like, locked in. Like, the 3 of them against Jacob and Charlie, and then, like, they have no hope at that point, I feel like.
All right, come on in, guys. All right, now bringing in Cassandra from Exile Island. All right, Cassandra getting the first glimpse, seeing that Jonathan was voted out at the last tribal council. All right, guys, congrats. You have made it to the final 6 of Survivor LU, friend or foe. That's a big deal. That is hard to make it this far into the game. All right, Will, I'm gonna need that back. All right, individual immunity necklace is back up for grabs. This week's challenge is a puzzle, and that is all you're gonna be able to know. We're going to do it 1 by 1. It's going to be a time test. So we'll call you back so that you cannot watch other people do it. Person with the fastest time wins immunity in a safe from tribal council and is a guaranteed final 5. All right, let's get to it. All right, Jacob, you will be doing the temple transfer challenge. The challenge is you have boxes all from largest to smallest, and you need to move them and get them in that exact order to this final box. The catch is you can only move 1 box at a time, and a larger box can never be stacked on top of a smaller box. And again, you have to get that whole stack identical all the way to this box. If you do it fastest, you win individual immunity and are safe from tribal council. Survivors ready? And go! There's a strategy to this.
Oh, wait.
He already thinks he's done it wrong.
Let's see.
If you can figure out the logic behind it, this challenge can go extremely fast. But if you can't, you can get stuck in a lot of ways. taking a moment trying to figure out what he has to do. How to get that 4 on top of that 5. Analyzing his moves again. He's got everything off that 5 now. Was that the move? Moving fast, he's thinking so. He got stuck again.
Jeez, here we go.
Oh, he thinks he has it. He's getting close. Alright, in time.
Oh my gosh.
Alright, thanks for playing. Alright. Survivors ready? And go. Cassandra moving fast. After a week on Exile Island, she's probably unsure if she really needs to win this or not. Who's to say? Seems to have a strategy going, but is it the right one? Wait, which one's this one? That's 3. Question is, has she figured out a strategy or is she just moving boxes? What am I doing? Putting that 3 back on top of the 4. Am I doing the same thing over and over again? I think I am. Has she figured it out? Once you figure this out, this challenge can go very quickly. I gotta put that over there. And time. That was really dumb. Survivors ready? And go.
Do I have to move this one first?
Yes.
Okay, cool. There.
Charlie taking
Here.
a slow, methodological approach.
Methodical.
That is the word I'm trying to say.
Let's see. Okay. Then I can't put anything in that first one, right? Because they're still off the boxes.
I mean, you can put stuff back on top of it if you want.
Okay. Actually, wait, no, because I'm gonna have to move that first. They made a mistake already.
Charlie thinking he has already messed up. Roughly 10 seconds into this challenge.
Confidence is good.
Seems very unsure of himself. Isn't even testing out theories, is just staring at these boxes.
I can't put this on top
Nope.
of them. Ugh. I think this logically. No, I got nothing. So I can move 1 on top of 2,
Yes.
but then what am I going to do with 3?
Up to you.
Because I would have to. It can't go there. If I put it, if it stays there, I can't move 4. I can't. Either way, so if I put it here, this, wait. I can put this here.
Yes.
I can put this there. Oh my gosh. I think I'm on something.
Charlie, confident for the first time this whole challenge.
Then,
Thinks he's figured out something.
put 3 here.
Thinks he's figured something out. And Charlie, I'm sorry, you hit
No.
try for 10 minutes.
Or,
Sorry, I think you were getting close.
I think so. Oh well.
Survivors ready? And go. Alright, there's a strategy to this puzzle. You can keep going. Keep talking. There's a strategy to this puzzle. You can figure it out. It can go very quickly. Just depends on how fast you can figure it out.
No.
You can have
One at a
time.
time.
So sorry. Oh shoot, now I'm stuck.
Leah realizing makes this puzzle so hard.
I don't know what to do.
She's walking pretty defeated. Still not sure what that pattern is.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna beat whatever the time limit is, and you're gonna have to call it.
Has she figured out a new thing?
Well, 5 is moved.
First time 5 has been moved. Is this the breakthrough that she needed? Figure out that pattern. They might have gotten that pattern. Looks like she might have figured it out. And time.
Did not like that.
Alright, Leah, thanks for playing. And go.
Can I only move one at a time?
Only one at a time. You cannot put a larger on top of a smaller. And they are numbered because some of the boxes look a little smaller, guys. Will seemed confident when I was explaining this, but does he have it correct?
I do, I promise.
Says he does, but he's second guessing himself already.
No, I know what I'm doing, I promise. I used to do this all the time.
Don't know who stacks boxes like this for fun, but okay.
I know, it's kind of a weird thing, I'm sorry. I cannot help it. Oh no.
He has his whole stack, but 5 is not where it needs to be. Has the 4 on top of the 5. It's getting close. In time. Alright. And go. Kayla moving a little slow, but is trying to be thoughtful about where she places these boxes. Once you get into a rhythm, it can go very quickly, but until that rhythm becomes apparent, it's going to be a slow-going challenge. So simple, just 5 cardboard boxes we found in our dorms and houses. Right, Kayla, unfortunately you hit time on the puzzle. Thank you for playing. Alright, the results are in. In last place, we had 2 players time out and did not finish the puzzle. That was Charlie and Kayla. You guys did not play. Next, we had at 8 minutes and 42 seconds, Leah. Then we had at 5 minutes and 4 seconds, Cassandra. The 2 remaining scores were very close.
No.
We had times of 2:28 and times of 2:36.
Oh, dang.
Literal seconds dividing Will and Jacob. With a time of 2:28, the winner of immunity is Jacob.
Jacob, that's impressive.
That's incredible.
I did so bad. Like, when y'all see the episode, I
You
was
said
standing
2,
there,
I was like,
just like,
Alright, everyone. Thanks for playing. We will see you on Tuesday.
Oh my God, Jacob!
Will didn't win immunity, so you know what that means. Will's going home unless he finds the idol. I don't think he is.
Guaranteed Final 5, which is so freaking dope. So excited about it. Yeah, but I definitely think that if I do not win immunity, I will get out at the Final 5 or Final 4.
We're planning on getting rid of Will this week. I think all of us are unanimous unless something crazy happens.
Will reached out to me already because there's only 2 days till tribal and he knows he's in trouble because Jonathan's gone and he said he doesn't really have anyone, and he said he talked to Jacob and it was dry.
Me and Will got dinner, like just alone, me and Will, because no one else wanted to go. And he was like, "Do you see any way I can get out of this vote coming up?" And I was like, honestly, no. I was like, you're kind of screwed, dude.
I'm working with Leah and Kayla. I'm going to meet them early tonight before tribal, so hopefully that will go well. I'm really just counting on them. I really hope they're like, hey, we got to get out of Charlie, because that would just make the most sense. But if they say Cassandra, it's no big.
Will and Jacob could be dangerous.
Jacob's not gonna work with Will.
I hope not.
He's not.
I don't think he will.
He's not.
There's no reason for him
He's
to go
not.
with Will. He's wanted Will out since week
I
1.
trust Jacob over Jonathan.
Oh, for sure.
So I don't think.
Yep. If I would have had a choice, it would either be Jacob or Will this week because I know Jacob's going to be a huge threat. Realistically, it would be smart to get out Will. But I don't know. I need to see what everyone else is thinking because I'm mostly worried about people flipping. I don't know who they see as a threat, who they want to take. What I was thinking, here's kind of what I'm thinking. Final 4, you, me, Charlie, Jacob. It's going to be an easy one to get Jacob out.
Yeah, if he doesn't win.
Okay, that's actually true. I didn't think about that.
He'll win.
That's true. So we need to think about that. But
I'm thinking maybe Cassandra. Because
mean,
I
yeah.
would be down.
I think Charlie would get
because
less
at the
votes.
end. Because at the end, if you think about it, right? If the Final 4 is me, you, Cassandra, and Charlie,
That's true.
then we're good either
We're good
way.
either way. Yeah. I'd rather go with Charlie than Cassandra, though.
I agree, and I think Charlie could win like a game so that we could get Cassandra out.
Yes.
But
And I feel like he'd be more comfortable working with us than her because he's
Yeah.
worked with us for weeks now.
Yeah, no, he trusts me. Like we definitely have a trust.
Yes.
At this point, I would rather go to the final 3 with Charlie over Will, just because Will does have a resume, and he was trying to convince us that Charlie had a better resume than him, and Leah and I were just like, no, that's not true.
I'm really relying on Kayla and Leah. I literally texted them. I was like, look, I told them today, I said, I'm counting on y'all. Like, that's my only play right now is to work with you guys. I don't trust Charlie and Jacob. They both know I'm a threat to them. So all I can do right now is just put it all in the hands of Leah and Kayla.
All right, now bringing in the jury, we have Dave, Meredith, Sarah, and Jonathan voted out at the last tribal council. All right, welcome to tribal council. You guys are at the final 6. You can survive this vote. You will be in the final 5. So close to the end. Will, last week it was a big point that Jonathan was your partner. He got voted out. How are you feeling this week?
A little sad. I do miss him, I'll admit. But that is okay. I'm playing a little bit of a different game now, I think, without him. But hopefully it'll play into my favor, I think, this week. We'll see what happens.
Now, Jacob, do you feel like you needed to win that necklace, or is it just another nice thing to add onto your resume?
I low-key think I needed it, kind of. I've been hearing my name come out a little more the past couple weeks, so I think I'd be secure, but I definitely feel way safer having one.
Now, Cassandra, they've been talking a lot about voting blocks and not really clear alliances. Do you guys think you're still in voting blocks, or have alliances been made clear?
I think we're still in the theme of voting blocks. I mean, there is a lot of different alliances forming, and definitely some alliances that have been left behind from previous weeks, but I think the voting block aspect has still pursued throughout.
Now, Leah, how at this point in the game do you know to trust someone? Do you know to take them at their words? We know deception's a really big part in this game, so how do you decipher who's telling you the truth or who's lying straight to your face?
Well, I actually experienced some of that this week. Certain people are more truthful than others, and that definitely told me a lot about who I can and can't trust this time.
Charlie, would you agree that you're feeling a lot of deception this past week?
I don't think I personally am. Maybe that's a good sign that I kind of have a good idea of everything that's going on, at least to my knowledge. But yeah, no, for me, I am feeling cool as a cucumber. So, yeah, that's all I got.
Now, Kayla, last week I know there's a lot of speculation on an idol being played and none was played. Do you think you guys successfully flushed one, or there might be one still floating around?
I think there might be one still floating around, but I don't know, like, who would have it if someone does have it.
Now, Jacob, how do you handle that possibility of an idol potentially being out there? What do you do with that unknown?
I mean, for this week, I'm Jay chillin'. I've got a beauty, but as long as it's not me going home, I'm all Gucci. But next week, I'll start worrying about it. But I think it'll come out tonight if there's no person.
Well, you seem to have a lot of nervous energy tonight. What is your survivor story? What's kind of your plea to keep you here?
At this point, I feel like my biggest plea has been it's useless to vote me out because my post-merge play has been a little poor. I've been on the wrong side of quite a few votes at this point. And so I'm just trying to stick around and make it to the end. And I think I'm really just laying it all out with the people I trust and really putting all my cards on the table.
Now, Cassandra, what are you using to decide who to vote with tonight after, you're back from exile, you're back in the game? What do you decide?
It's just kind of seeing who I can trust again and who is telling me the truth comparing to what other people tell me, and just figuring out where I fit in and how to keep myself safe, because that's really the only thing I can do after being gone for a little bit.
Who is uneasy about where they sit tonight?
Definitely.
All right, we have some half-raised hands. Will, for sure, is not feeling sure about it. All right, well, there's only one way to find out. Let's get to the vote. All right, if anyone has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now would be the time to do so. Okay, let's get to the votes. First vote, Cassandra. Will. Will. 11th person voted out and 5th member of our jury. Will. Thanks for playing. Come grab your torch. Will, the tribe has spoken. Thanks for playing.
I'm kind of salty, I suppose, at Leah and Kayla. Now I get to think about talking to the rest of the jury about who we want to win, which is going to be a lot of fun because I have quite a bit of pull with the jury that is there. I'm still confused as to necessarily why they voted me out. If I would have made it farther, I feel like I would just not have a convincing case, and I have played very poorly post-merge. So if I were in their shoes, I would have tried to keep me around just because it would be easy to argue against me. But they made their decision, so here I am. I look forward to getting to talk to Sarah and Jonathan again quite a bit. Those are two people that I'm definitely going to keep in contact with. You suck, and it's kind of big for you to vote me out. Shout out Leah and Kayla. But Jacob, we're probably going to win, so good luck.
What's going on, everybody? We're back with another confessional. Will is finally gone. Praise the Lord. I love Will. I really do. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, he's gone. Down to the last 5. I can't really talk strategy because they're all right over there.
wanted to film a confessional. Yeah.
Another development that we've kind of had over the last 24 hours is me, Jacob, and Cassandra now have a plan to take it all the way to the final 3.
I reached out to Cassandra, called her as soon as I could. I was like, hey, Cassandra, you gotta team up with me, pretty much. Because I gotta have someone on my side. I was pretty much telling her how Leah and Kayla are trustworthy. She believed me. So I think, as of now, my plan is to team up with her and Charlie to try to get to the final 3. And yeah, I'm worried about Charlie getting votes in the final 3, but that's my only chance of 2 people I feel like I can actually trust. So that's what I'm going for.
So I'm in between 2 groups right now. I'm in between Jacob, Charlie, me, and Leah, Kayla, me, which I'm really glad that I'm a part of both of them, so I can kind of just pick and choose as long as I play things right. I don't want to make it seem like I have 2 options, because then they'll be like, oh, she's riding high. Let's get rid of her. But I'm definitely going to see what my best option is. I know that if I went to final 3 with Jacob, Jacob would definitely win, just because he has the best resume, if you call it, because he's won 2 individual immunity challenges. He has been on the side of most of the votes, so he's basically he hasn't been in charge, but he's been in line with everything that's been going on, and he's been making some pretty big moves. So I definitely think that Jacob would win. The other ones, I think it's kind of like a toss-up. Like, I don't know if I'm not confident I would win, but I have a pretty high assumption of the people with that would vote for me. And it's not one of those things that I can just like vote out either Kayla or Leah to split up that duo, because that means that the other one would just vote for the other one when it comes down to final 3.
So once again, I'm kind of that swing player right now. It's between me, Kayla, and Leah, and me, Jacob, and Cassandra. I don't know how I managed to get in that spot not once but twice, just being like the in-between person. But boy, am I happy. What a great situation.
All right, final 5.
Welcome to this week.
This week's challenge is OTEP.
What this challenge is going to be is we're going to have a bunch of papers scattered down at the other end of the rink that all have the possible answers to questions I'm going to give you.
I'm going to say a question. You then have to run to the other end of the rink, find the answer that you think is correct, and bring it back to me.
Last person to bring me the correct answer is out. Once we're down to 1 person, that will be whoever wins individual immunity and is safe and is guaranteed a spot in the final 4. All right, guys, let's get to it.
Jacob, I'm going to need that back.
Maybe.
All right, for the first question. This player once said, back at home, it's the same way. I have dirt on everybody. Go.
I think that's listen most to get in shape.
possible.
All right, for the second question. This challenge took place in week 4. Go. Somebody's gonna watch it. I'm going to run a little bit slower.
Quantity over quality at this point.
Charlie and Leah all battling it out for immunity. None of them has won an immunity necklace before, so this can be big for their game. Alright, another challenge question. This challenge took place in week 7. Go! Really sliding in and crashing. He's not figured out
had a good strategy at stopping. On overtaking her. It's like Charlie just beat her by a little bit, but is he right? Charlie is correct. Cassandra is correct. Leah does not even have an opportunity to show the answer. Yeah. All right, here. The correct answer was color memory.
Charlie, he's our man. You can't do it. Cassandra can.
All right, we have Charlie and Cassandra battling it out for safety to get to the final four. That is a big deal. For the final question, we have this player was voted out on day 50 of the game. Go.
Do you know who was voted out day 50? Incorrect. Day 50.
Will anyone tell you you look good in the helmet? Because you do.
We got a foot race between Cassandra and Charlie. About equal. I'm gonna put my hand down. Whoever touches it. Oh, I have Charlie. And Charlie wins immunity. In the spot in the final four. The answer was Meredith. Meredith was voted out on day 50 of the game. Cassandra, who did you have?
I had you. I thought that was longer than they were.
Yeah. Way off.
Yeah.
Alright everyone, that was a fun challenge to watch, but Charlie, come on over. For the first time,
Charlie, yeah. Woo, Charlie, yeah. Woo, go Charlie, yeah. Good feeling.
Alright everyone else, I will see you all next Tuesday. Have a good week, good luck. Good night.
Originally, we thought Jacob was going to be the easy vote this week because I, thank goodness, finally won immunity. Oh, what a great feeling. So happy. Especially because Jacob found the idol, so that actually might have put a pretty big target on my back this week if Jacob had that.
Alright guys, we're here about to make a fake idol so I can survive past 5 people. So getting these bad boys and these things. Let's go get some string. I got my string, got my little beady things, so we're gonna head back, make this necklace, and hopefully fool some people, you know what I'm saying? Let's take a trip back to day 1. What did I say? You know what I said? I said I'm gonna play chess, not checkers. And you know what? At the time, people were like, hey, what's Jacob talking about? What does that mean? Well, let me show you. This is the chess move right here. Boom. Yo, I know what you're thinking. Oh, Jacob, did you find an idol? No, I didn't find an idol. I went to Michael's. I made one. I'm going to show that to everybody after this week. Be like, hey, oh, I have an idol. Oh, don't vote me out. And then I'm totally going to fool them. And then they're totally going to think I have an idol. And I'm going to get through this freaking week. It's going to be so easy.
Jacob, when he realized he didn't win the challenge and he was in trouble, started scheming, which I was planning on scheming, but he beat me to it. So he told Charlie and possibly Cassandra that he found a clue and got the idol. I don't believe you, Jacob. Sorry. He said that there was a clue by the voting thing, which if there was, I'm kind of low-key salty because I went up there last. But Will would have seen it and he would have grabbed it. Just saying, Will felt safe.
Jacob's idol is fake. I brought up the thing Jacob told me about him sharing the clue that he supposedly found under the basket. He told me that he found the clue under the basket that you go to vote with or something. And then he said that on our way to the snowflakes were on the way to the ice rink. When they went up to the bathroom, he showed the clue to Charlie. And so I brought it up to Charlie and I was like, did this actually happen? And he was like, no. And we were like, I think Jacob got nervous when I called out that I knew about the idol and he started making up lies. So it just kind of like solidified that, yes, the idol is definitely fake. Like, there is no doubt in my mind.
Tonight is going to be deciding who will become the final four. If everything goes well, it will either be Jacob or Leah. I personally think Jacob's idol is real, but I'm hoping everyone still thinks it's fake and that I will probably still be voting for Jacob, but I hope that everyone thinks it's fake and votes for Jacob, and then Jacob and Charlie vote for Leah. If things go correct and if things go okay, that should be how it goes.
In order to make sure that I can get a spot in the final three if I don't win immunity, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to make a fake idol, hide it sometime during like I guess tribal or the challenge next week, and then I'm going to find it so everyone sees me find it. I'm going to read it out loud, and I'm going to make the clue say something about being able to use it after the votes are read and also being able to use it like on the last tribal. So then everybody knows that I can play it. Because I don't think you're allowed to play idols like once you get past the final four. Is that right? I don't know. But I'm going to make sure that everybody knows that I can in fact use it at the next tribal and guarantee myself a spot in the final three.
Okay. So me being a dude, I don't usually go in Hobby Lobby. I'll admit I'm a little bit lost. Okay, found some feathers. I found these. Wait, oh my gosh. Guys, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. That looks just like an idol. Let's go. This is amazing. Just finished making the clue. Congratulations on making the final four, but there may be one more advantage worth looking for. Head to the garden between Commons 1 and 2. You may find a secret advantage waiting for you. So, I'm going to keep that in my pocket. And then halfway through the challenge, I'm going to like pretend to like find that and very like obviously like hide it. Hopefully I'm going to make sure everyone else sees that. And then I'm going to cave in. I'm going to show them that. I'm going to go to Commons and hide this under a rock right now. You can see I made a little fake idol in there, and then there's like a little clue in there. It basically, actually, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna get it out. I'm gonna show you guys. I'm pretty proud of this. I'm not an artistic person, so pretty happy with how this turned out. So we have this. Congratulations, this idol contains more power than you know. Use this next tribal to determine who is your friend and who is your foe. Guys, there's no way that they're gonna think this is fake. This is gonna be so great.
I still think Charlie and Cassandra will vote with me for Leah as long as they believe I have an idol. And I know Charlie and Cassandra are gonna end up telling them, as in Leah and Kayla, I have an idol, since I know that they will be trying to conspire against me. So everyone's gonna know I have an idol, or at least think I do. But I mean, it's really believable, honestly. I think, like, I would believe that. I would totally believe that. I would not be willing to take the risk on it, for sure. So, yeah, that's how that's rolling. And, oh my gosh, my whole plan just rides on if they believe my fake idol or not. And I'm really nervous about it, honestly. So, I don't know. We'll see how the week plays out, because, I mean, this is how it is now. But things always change a ton throughout the week, so you never know what's gonna freaking happen.
Alright, now bringing in the jury. Will voted out at the last tribal council. Jacob, can you just tell me your thoughts of when you first started this whole process all the way back in August? Did you really think you were going to make it to Final 5?
No, I did not. And even my roommate, he was like, Jacob, gonna be honest, thought you were gonna get out like a month ago. So, I mean, I'm honestly excited for Final Five. I feel good enough accomplishment for me. $100 is cool too.
So Leah, do you share those sentiments that Jacob has at Final Five? This is cool, it's farther than you thought, this is good enough for you? Or are you still fighting to try and get to that final 3?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of shocked I made it this far because going into Survivor, the only thing I knew about it was that my boss was obsessed with Survivor. Other than that, I knew nothing about Survivor. So yeah, I'm pretty shocked I made it this far. It's been fun though.
Now Charlie, you have that immunity necklace around your neck. How important do you think it was for you to win that this week?
You know, I would say it's pretty big. It's big for Team Charlie. You know, we've been playing hard all semester, and I'm just glad that I could finally get a win for all the fans out there. You know, we played a good challenge. I thought there were some things we could improve on, but overall, a strong performance, and we hope to replicate that this weekend.
Thank you, Charlie. All right, Cassandra, tell me your thought process going into this week's tribal council.
So basically my whole thought process was seeing like what the best options would be going forward and thinking, obviously we're in Final Five, we have to start thinking more long term, especially since after this one there's only one more vote out. So it's kind of just thinking long term, seeing what the best options are and who I can trust.
Now Kayla, you have made it this far, but from a few weeks back in superlatives, it wasn't clear that you were really going to get votes if you made it to the final 3. How have you adjusted your game since then to try and get votes in that final 3?
I don't know if I've really adjusted my game a whole lot. But at this point, I'm just trying to stay in till the end.
Now, of course, every week there's always this question of hidden immunity. Charlie, how do you think that's played into this week's strategy?
You know, there is confirmation that there is one floating around. Obviously mine's not hidden, but somebody else, one of these 4 does have one. And I'm pretty sure everybody knows about it at this point. It's just a question of will it be played, how will it be played, who will it be played for? And I think the biggest thing this week was trying to maybe, you know, just kind of figure out how the idol would be used and then coming up with contingency plans based off of that to try and play into the best possible scenario for everyone involved.
Now, Cassandra, have you heard some of this, that there is an idol?
Oh, definitely. This week has mainly been revolved around talk of an idol and talk of how to go around it, what's going to happen, how it's going to play into the game. But we'll see what happens, but there has been a lot of talk.
So Leah, how do you plan for a week where an idol might come in play and that might change the whole vote with so few numbers to work with?
Definitely having an idol and immunity in play limits the amount of people that I can vote for, but at this point it hasn't changed my strategy of I want to make it through this week even with everything that's in play right now. So.
Now Jacob, with this being so close to the finale, what do you do, what moves do you make so that the jury can see you and know that if you make it, they can be someone that they're confident to vote for to win?
I think the biggest thing at this point is just winning the challenge, honestly. I think at this point everyone has in their minds like what they want to do, the final 4. So it's just like winning the challenge to make sure you're safe at this point.
Alright. Well, with that, it's time to vote. All right, if anyone has a hidden immunity idol, let's play it. Now would be the time to do so. All right, Jacob, who are you playing this for?
Myself.
All right, this is not a hidden immunity idol. Any votes count against Jacob? We'll start. Let's get to votes. First vote. Jacob. Leah. One vote Jacob, one vote Leah. Jacob. And the 12th person voted out, and the 6th member of our jury, Jacob. Jacob, come grab a torch, please.
When somebody was sung.
Alright, Jacob, I'm sorry. The child has spoken. Explain.
Good luck, guys. I knew last week, I knew that they were coming for me when I had immunity. So I was like, last week I was like, I gotta do something. So I made the fake idol last week so that I could find a clue at the challenge and then fake find it after the challenge. But it didn't work out. The only thing I would have done to prevent it is probably keep Will around one more week. I thought about doing that just to like have a buffer for me because I had a feeling they're coming for me. So if I just kept Will one more week, I feel like that could have got me through to get Will out. Without exaggeration, it's been the most stressful week of my entire life of just worrying about whether they're gonna believe it or not. So I'm glad it's finally over in a way, but also sad it's gonna be over. Charlie, I'm rooting for you because you're the only one that believed me. But everyone else just have fun.
All right, and you gotta read that out loud, I guess. Don't leave in a hurry. Walk over to the other side of the room to join your fellow members of the jury.
To be quite honest, I think I have a decent chance of winning if I make it final 3 with Charlie and Kayla. Like, come on now. They wanted to vote me out for weeks, and then it's all of a sudden like, oh, no, I'm not a threat. But, yeah, I'm hoping that nobody turns against me, be like, but actually Cassandra's a bigger threat. Because if I can keep it on the train of like, I literally have no idea what I'm doing. Panicky. I played my idol in a really bad move. Why would anyone want to vote for me? If I keep it in that route and keep it in the route of like, well, I mean, why don't you want to go to tribal with me? I feel like I should be fine.
Moving forward, I've made it this far into this game and I really want to win. And I'm like super competitive, so I just want to win. And the more I was thinking about it, the more like I realized if the final 4 is me, Leah, Cassandra, and Charlie. Of course, it depends on who wins immunity, but like for me, it doesn't matter. I should end up going to final 3 no matter what. However, if Leah doesn't win, I need to consider getting her out because it makes the most sense to me to want to go to the end with Charlie and Cassandra because I really don't think that they would beat me. Which sounds horrible, but like, I'm this close to the end. I don't know if she would have the same idea, but even if she did, I know that Charlie and Cassandra see Leah as a bigger threat than me, so.
Alright everyone, welcome to the final challenge. After tonight, one person will win immunity and the battle will be for the final 3. You all have been fighting for all semester to make it to. The challenge is an old school throwback. The very first finale challenge of Survivor, filmed in 2000. We're here on Liberty's campus doing it 20 years later. It's a very simple challenge. Whoever wants it the most is going to win it. Challenge is going to be, you're going to have one hand on Sparky. Last person to remove their hands wins immunity and is guaranteed a spot in the final 3. Thank you, Charlie. Immunity is back up for grabs for the last time. Alright, we're ready to go with the first challenge. We have Cassandra, Charlie, Kayla, and Leah all fighting it out for the last and final immunity and a guaranteed spot in the final 3. Survivors ready? And go! Now I feel I need to give an audience a good picture of what's happening. We're currently filming in November. It got very cold over the weekend. We have hit the 3-hour mark. The 3-hour mark. That means we're gonna do another transition, but same rules apply. Once you get into the transition, you cannot move. The 3-hour mark, we lost Cassandra in the transition. She briefly moved her hand off when she was going between Sparky's neck into his shoulder. We came and reviewed it, and the call was good. So now we have left with us Charlie, Kayla, and Leah battling it out, going into hour 3 of this very cold and windy night, trying to win their safety and guarantee their spot in the final 3. Is all free will. You can drop whenever you feel like it. Go home, take a nice hot bath and shower.
Oh my gosh. That was a pivot and a half. Is pivoting okay? Like if you like pick our heel up and like but keep our toes down?
Leah, you said the rule that you cannot move your foot, block, pivot, and we have decided that Leah does in fact entirely. Leah and her here out. Down to the final 2 of Charlie and Kayla.
Okay. Team Charlie. I don't know how much longer I'd be out here. So, with that, I gave up. So, this competition, Kayla's got it.
Charlie is out. Kayla has won the last individual community and has guaranteed herself a spot in the final 3. After 3 hours, 37 minutes, and 5 seconds, our winner is Kayla. Kayla, come and get it for the last time. Here we go. Kayla is safe and guaranteed a spot in the final 3. Charlie, Cassandra, and Leah will be left to fire it out to get those 2 remaining spots, and then a chance to argue their point to the jury of why they should be the sole survivor. Alright, see you all in 2 days. Good night.
I won! I'm so hyped that I won. I'm literally so excited.
The decoy was planted. Everyone fell for it. It went exactly as I planned.
I also have some tea for you. And I don't know like how you're gonna take this, but Charlie found the idol. But you can't like say that you know. Like we're not
There's an
supposed-
idol, but I thought they don't work.
This one's a special one.
That's stupid.
I don't know what to do. What should I do?
I don't know, ma'am.
Are you gonna be mad if I vote for you?
A little bit.
How mad?
I'm not saying.
Please look at that.
All I'm saying is I wouldn't have voted for you.
I know.
And you would have been the biggest threat to me, honestly.
I know. But I can't vote for Charlie. What do we do? Vote Cassandra?
Girl. Not gonna lie though, you'd be mad if you choose them over me.
Is it gonna be you and me like going at it at jury in the jury?
I don't know.
You're making me nervous.
I knew Kayla was probably going to flip on me if I did not win immunity, which is why I was planning on staying the entire night, but didn't win, so I'm probably going bye-bye. So I'm planning on going out with a bang. I'm pretty much screwed. I'm very screwed. I already knew that. But anyway, so I texted Cassandra. I was like, all I'm asking is for you to be honest. There's nothing I can do, yada yada. And guess what? She wasn't honest. So I'm going to confront her, so at least you'll have some fun footage.
Okay, I really only have one thing to say.
Yep.
So I texted you earlier.
Yeah.
I asked you to be honest with me.
Yeah.
And you weren't. So.
What do you mean? I heard everything from Kayla.
Yeah.
So I know you're voting for me, and I asked you to be honest, and you weren't. So I'm just letting you know I will not be voting for you anymore. Right? I know you have no options, but all I asked for was honesty.
Can I just say that when you texted me, Charlie had not told me that he found the idol yet. So to be quite honest, I was being completely honest with you, and then I wanted to vote Charlie out because I hadn't known that Charlie had an idol yet. And then right after I texted you, he sent me a video, and I'm like, okay. And then you texted me when we meet up, and I'm like, okay, so I'll talk to her tomorrow about it. Because that was I know that like that's off, obviously you have to take my word for it, but I wish I could show you the text message sequence in that like I was texting you and I'm like, okay, literally my only options are you or Charlie, and I wanted to vote Charlie out to go with our original plan. And I know you're probably like, I don't believe a word you're saying. But I know you don't believe a word I'm saying, but like that's just how I'm viewing it, in the sense of like you texted me first. I was like, okay, so I was like, yes, Kayla pulled it out, and I'm like, so we can still go our original plan of like voting Charlie out. And then Charlie texted Kayla and I with the idol.
Just talked with Leah, and a little bit salty, not gonna lie. Like, I don't want to come across as one of those like stingy, like not stingy, but like one of those stereotypical, oh my goodness, you said something bad about me, I'm gonna go all drama on you. No, I'm not gonna do that. She talked to me just to tell me, hey, Kayla told me everything. She told me everything about how you're gonna go against me, vote against me, and all I asked for was the truth. I'm like, okay, you texted me before Charlie, number one, you texted me before Charlie found the idol. So I didn't even know. I was like, yeah, I wanted to vote Charlie out beforehand because I knew that you would gang up with Kayla because you guys are buddy-buddy, and I wanted you guys to go against each other. But once Charlie found the idol, I'm like, okay. And I didn't text her back. I didn't tell her anything. I'm like, okay, she'll probably want to meet up. I'll just meet up with her later.
I don't really know what his idol does. He showed it to me, but it said something about how it shows you friend from foe. So what I'm thinking it does, I don't think it gives Charlie immunity. It said nothing about giving him immunity. And also in all of Survivor, I don't think there have been any immunity idols that are used on the player in the final four. So I really don't think it gives him immunity. I think either he plays immunity on someone that he wants to keep in. So I'm thinking he's probably going to go with Cassandra, so I probably shouldn't waste my vote on Cassandra, so that eliminates that option. So I do that. The only problem is I really don't know how it works. Maybe it just gives her temporary immunity. Maybe it lets him take her to the final no matter what. Well, immunity. So then if me and Kayla voted Charlie, he would go out. So it'd me, Cassandra, and Kayla. So I might actually have a shot, but the thing is I don't really know what his idol does. It could be fake. It did look kind of fake, but I don't know. The note looked really official and real, so I'm thinking it's actually real. I really think I can guilt trip Kayla into voting for Charlie with me. She seemed okay with it, so I guess I'm gonna do that.
Now I have some decisions to make. I also am not 100% sure like what that advantage is, or like whatever, and that might play a little part into what happens, but I honestly don't care that much. I think I want Leah out over Charlie. I don't really know. I haven't made up my mind 100% yet.
As far as they know, me and Kayla are the only ones safe, and it comes down to Leah and Cassandra. And honestly, I'm probably like 90% sure I'm gonna take Cassandra with me. Leah's fine and all that, but I'm pretty sure that my chances against Cassandra are better than they are with Leah. Either way, like, I think I've got like a really, really good shot to win this. I really do. So that's what's up. I guess tomorrow's it. So that's, oh my gosh, this might be my last confession. What? That's kind of sad. Anyways, yeah, that's what's up. Stay updated for more updates, potentially, maybe. I don't know. Okay, bye.
All right, now bringing in the jury. Dave, Meredith, Sarah, Jonathan, Will, and Jacob voted out at the last tribal council. Welcome to your final date with me. This is the last time you're going to have to deal with me asking you questions. The next time will be the jury over there asking you questions. Tonight we just have to decide who that last member is. Cassandra, what does it feel like being so close to that final three?
It feels like kind of surreal because I never thought I would make it this far, but also still completely nerve-wracking just because of what happened at the last challenge, and like I wasn't able to win it, and there's talk of an idol, so it's just a lot of like, it's exciting, but also like I'm on the chopping block, so.
Leah, how are you feeling tonight?
Not good. I've been on the chopping block for a while, and this week has narrowed options and immunity, and things aren't going my way, so.
So, if you think you're going home, what's your argument to these 3 people sitting next to you not to write your name down?
Well, I've already told them that extensively in detail. I don't think I'm as big a threat as they think I am because I've made a lot of people mad on my way to Final Four.
And Charlie, I have to ask you, the last person without the immunity necklace, how are you feeling tonight?
I am actually feeling fantastic because I found the advantage/idol. It says here, congratulations, this idol contains more power than you know. Use this next tribal to determine who is your friend and who is your foe. I don't know if that was the one that was hidden at Commons all along or not, but I've got it and I feel fantastic.
Now, Kayla, obviously you're sitting pretty tonight. You are secure. You are for sure in the final 3. How do you feel going into this, trying to make the decision of who to take with you and who not?
Well, you kind of have to decide like who you think the biggest threat is, but you also have to like take into account loyalty and like being loyal to the people that I guess you've made alliances with. It's definitely not an easy decision, but
Now, Charlie just brought out this, what he claims to be an idol. What do you think of that?
honestly, you're not allowed to play idols in the Final Four, so I'm not sure that it's actually going to work.
I'm not either, to be fair. I mean, all I know is I found the clue in my chair last time, and then I found that under a rock. So I hope it's real. If one of you guys made it, I mean, it
doesn't
props.
say.
It looks
It doesn't say you have immunity either.
That is also true.
But
This is making me more nervous than I want to be.
I mean, like in terms of like, because I know this is just totally not in relation to the idol, but in terms of like loyalty and like loyalty for the past week, I feel like this week I've been pitted as such a bad guy, even though I've stayed loyal to a lot of the people that I've made alliances with, unless they've broken my trust. So it kind of just perplexes me why I've been pitted as this person that's either like totally broken trust or anything like that, when in reality I haven't.
Now, Leah, what would you say to that? Do you think Cassandra is someone who is loyal, or that is not at all true?
Unloyal. This week I asked her, there's nothing I can do this week. The one thing I asked for you is tell me if you're voting for me.
Can I just say, that was before Charlie sent me a text message telling me he had the idol. And if you were in my position, considering what you did the first week of the merge, you would probably do something along that lines too. I didn't tell you, and you met with Kayla before me, so you wouldn't even know what I said until you met with me.
I met with Kayla afterwards, and she told me everything you said.
That's what I'm saying. Like when Charlie told me about the idol, it was after you had texted me. So I told you, I'm like, okay, it's either you or Charlie, and it's like I'm not decided yet, and like I'll let you know. And we planned to talk.
If I would like to add in, Kayla said, oh, should we not tell Leah?
You do realize that Kayla was the one who suggested an option to be like, hey, I'm going to tell her Charlie found something, but not that it's an idol.
What she told me.
Yep. So then how am I not
because
different
Kayla
than what
told
she
me
is?
Everything. Kayla has
You met with her first.
I met with her before and after, and many times before and after. She was very honest with me.
What does that have to do with this one time? Like, you didn't even give me a chance to talk. You literally came to me saying, hey, I don't trust you, this is what you did, and then you left. You didn't even let me
I listened.
do anything. Oh,
you did.
I would just like to interject here. I've been open and honest with everybody, and that's...
Oh, really? Oh, really? You do realize you didn't tell them that you didn't vote with them, Mark, right? That I was the one who didn't. That I was the one who didn't vote with them.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
Well, I'm talking about with you guys, though. You guys are very honest about...
Charlie has been honest with me. He has been honest with me. I'll be honest.
I'm not saying that you guys haven't been honest with me, but there are times when you've hid stuff from me, and like you hid stuff from each other. So don't pit me as such a bad guy when you guys do the exact same thing that I do.
I mean, I admit I'm probably a bad guy.
No, like, definitely
a bad guy.
Kayla, you're apparently in this middle of this story of the Cassandra-Leah loyalties. Obviously, everyone's going to come to you this week with that necklace. Give us your take on what's happening right now.
There's a lot happening right now. Honestly, I think it just comes down to like, I guess, who the like biggest threat is, and like who's probably going to get the most votes from the jury of like who's going to get voted out tonight.
Alright, it does not seem like there is a clear answer tonight, so this is exciting. Let's get to the vote. Alright. If anyone has hidden the item and would like to put it, now's a good time to do so.
Well, good news for you guys. I typed all of this out. 100% fake. I planted that there a couple days ago. So there's that. I just wanted to make sure that I was covered.
You guys are right. No idol could be played.
Yep.
In the final four.
You did a much better job than me, Jacob.
Let's get to the votes.
I hope that worked.
First vote? Leah. Leah. She votes Leah.
Charlie. That's 2 votes Leah, 1 vote Charlie, 1 vote left. Charlie. We have a tie. Kayla and Cassandra will be re-voting to break the tie.
Alright, the votes are in. First vote, Charlie. Thirteenth person voted out and final member of our jury, Charlie. Charlie, can you grab the torch?
What? I promise you guys. What do you mean? I promise I never sure what's going out.
Charlie, you tried to scope me. Thanks for playing.
It's been a pleasure.
You tried.
I am kind of surprised, but not really. I mean, I thought I had him. In hindsight, I probably should have just gone on to win immunity. That would have been a surefire way to make sure I was safe, but I didn't. I gambled and I lost, so as soon as it went to a tie, I knew I was done. I knew that if they didn't believe it, it was going to be me going home. So it's been fun. It's been stressful. Originally, my goal was to make it to the merge, and I did. And I made it to the last day, so I guess at the end of the day, I cannot complain too much. I wish I could have made the final 3. Had a whole jury speech ready to go, but you know what? That's okay. It wasn't meant to be. Congrats. I mean, you called my bluff, so I deserve it. Congrats to you guys, and I don't know who I'm gonna vote for yet. So.
I didn't think I'd be here. Final 3, this is insane. This is like something that I never thought I'd be able to grab or like grasp when I started doing this game. And I'm sure some people are probably wondering why I flipped over, because I'm sure they're like, she doesn't have as big of a chance like with Leah there or with these people there. But honestly, I think my main thing going into talking to the jury and just how the season went is that I've been honest with people that want to trust me and that I trust them until they've broken my trust or lied to me. And I think that that's probably one of the big things I'm probably going to present to the jury. But overall, even though I didn't come out with any immunity idol wins, or even if I may not have outshone some other people, it seemed like in this game that was a beneficial thing, and that even though things may not have gone the way I wanted to, even if I may have wanted to win an immunity idol challenge, I'm still here And even if people don't think I deserve to be here, I'm here and they're not. So don't know what you were trying to prove by thinking that I'm not deserving to be here. Honestly, I would love to win this. I do think that Kayla and Leah are definitely going to present some big things, but as long as I get a few votes, as long as people acknowledge that I played the game well and that I was able to make it here and they were not, and they can understand that I did what I did for alliances and that I did all I could, I think that it should go well. But honestly, I'm really happy that it turned out this way, and there's really not a ton of other stuff, just that it's been awesome being a part of this season. Coming into it, I didn't think it would be all that much. When you see this thing for college doing a Survivor thing, I'm I love the show, I love playing it, but you don't really expect a ton, especially when you're asked to give $10 for it. But I really enjoyed doing it, and I'm glad that I was able to make it here, and that I made some pretty good memories along the way, and winning it would make it all the better. So I'm going to definitely try to prove my case as much as I can to the jury, and try to get some of those people like Dave, Meredith, and Jacob, and maybe even Charlie, who were on my side and could trust what I was doing until they disproved my trust, that they should vote for me and not for the other two.
I think I'm glad Charlie's gone. I really, really hope that the jury is actually mad at Leah, because I really want their votes. I feel like Cassandra probably won't get any votes still. But I know Meredith and Dave were talking about voting for the floater if we bring the floater along. So I'm a little bit nervous that they're gonna vote for her, but I feel like everyone else won't. So I feel like I have a pretty good shot, as long as I just am able to say everything I need to say about what I've done in the game so far. First of all, I'm good friends with Leah, you guys know that, and the jury I don't think does, so I'm going to tell them that. I'm going to take claim for the Sarah vote and tell them that it was my idea to begin with. My whole strategy going into the game was just to be underrated and underestimated, and I think it got me to this point, so I must be doing something right. It's been really fun. I've made great friends in this game, and I'm really glad that I'm here, and I'm even more excited that I've made it this far and I'm in the final 3.
I am honestly shocked that I am here right now. Not just this week, but last week. I thought for sure I was going home, and I kind of guilt tripped Kayla a lot the past 2 days, and that was my only shot. Tried to make Charlie believe a bunch of stuff and find out about his idol. I kind of suspected it was fake, so I used that and guilt tripping to get through to this week. But the fact that they left me in honestly blows my mind. I don't know why they did. But honestly, I'm just happy I made it this far. Even if I don't get any votes or anything, I'm just happy I made it this far, because I knew nothing about Survivor going into it. I've seen 1 season now and I'm addicted and I love it. So really thank you all everyone so much for letting me do Survivor. I don't know if I have anything else to say. My head is reeling right now. I really don't know. There's so many thoughts. So my biggest problem right now is that a lot of the things that I would argue are things that Kayla would argue. So I was going to say things like a lot of the votes. I've been on a 4-person alliance for a while, so I'm going to bring that up. Me, Charlie, Jacob, and Kayla, and Jonathan, Will, and some of the bigger threats in the game didn't really pick up on that until it was too late. So I would definitely argue for that. My flipping on Dave was a really big part of my strategy. Also the fact that I stayed in after that, because almost my entire tribe hated me. Then there was a whole Meredith thing, that was also my idea. That might end up being bad because they're probably mad at me, but I've just kind of tried to argue some of the strategic things that I did just to keep myself safe and in the game, even though in my tribe I start off pretty not good. Honestly, met a lot of really cool people. It was really fun. It kind of consumed my life, but in a good way, I guess. I got closer with a lot of different people, and it's just been a really fun experience, I think, overall. I'm just really glad I got to participate.
Bringing in our jury of Dave, Meredith, Sarah, Jonathan, Will, Jacob, and Charlie voted out at the last tribal council. Cassandra, Kayla, and Leah, congratulations. You have officially made it to the final 3. That is something to celebrate for y'all. So So congratulations, just making it this far is so much harder than most people even understand or recognize. Alright, so how tonight is going to work, we're going to have opening statements by our final three. You guys then will be questioned from the jury in the order that they were booted off, and then you will have time to answer them, and then after that you guys will give us closing statements.
Alright, so made it this far. It wasn't obviously just due to myself, like a lot of you guys helped me come this far, especially due to my alliances. And I feel like even though I may not have won an immunity challenge or may not have done anything like super out there, I think one of the big things in this season that at least helped me to stand out was just that I stayed true to my alliances until they either lied to me or betrayed me or either of those things, or they didn't even reach out to me. So it's not one of those things of like, hey, I went around betraying people, like talking behind everyone's back. It was one of those things of like, when people trusted me, I tried to trust them back. And I think that was one of my strong suits in this game, is that I didn't break trust with people, and I hope that you can recognize that.
Thank you, Cassandra.
Okay. So my entire strategy going into this game was to be underestimated, and I think it worked pretty well. You guys I'm here. So Leah and I know each other. We were on the same hall freshman year of college, and we started our alliance pre-merge. And yeah, so that was kind of like a big move for us. Another thing is like Leah and I have kind of been controlling the game from the beginning, and nobody else noticed. So that was kind of a big deal. Yeah. Also, another big move that I made was voting out Sarah. Yeah, that was kind of like my idea from the beginning to vote you out, and I'm really sorry, but you were just a really big threat, and you told me you were going to control the game, so I had to vote you out. But
Alright, thank you, Kayla. Leah?
Okay, hello guys. Obviously you heard, we've known each other for 2.5 years. So my first alliance was actually with Kayla. So she was always kind of my number one going into this. So any flips, that's why like, I know some of you were angry because you said I flipped, but I never beat it that way because I was always in the alliance with Kayla. But anyway, moving forward, my whole strategy was kind of stay low the first half, and then post-merge, that's when I was going to start to do stuff. So when we merged, I realized that Dave was kind of controlling the things on my tribe. And I realized that he really liked Cassandra because she always went with his votes, and I could tell he was either going for Meredith or Jacob to take further, and I knew I would be one of the first people out. So I would kind of have to do it first week or second week, and I kind of had to jump the gun because I talked to Jacob, and Jacob told me he wanted to vote out Dave as well. So I beat him to the punch because I wanted that on my resume. Anyway, so moving forward from that, before I did that, I knew I'd be in trouble if I were to go into the merge, flipping on my tribe. Obviously everyone was going to be mad at me and we could get picked off one by one, but I spoke to Charlie, Jacob, and Kayla and kind of made sure there was an alliance there. So then also a lot of you didn't notice that there was a 4-person alliance, and we were also kind of controlling the game as well, and you guys didn't really notice, like particularly used to, until it was too late. So that was also my strategy. And this week I'm kind of shocked that I stayed in. I didn't win any immunity challenges. I'm still here despite everyone. I think my name went out almost every single week, honestly. But, so yeah, I'd say I played a pretty good game. If you have any respect for Survivor, I think you can appreciate that much at least. That is it.
All right, thank you, Leah. All right, now to kick off jury questions. Dave, you're up first. You want to come kind of stand up in front?
Yeah, Dave. Yeah! Well, ladies, first of all, I would like to say congratulations, because lasting 11 weeks in an extremely paranoia-filled game at your university is certainly no easy feat. And, you might notice a sentiment of bitterness from the jury, and to that I say, of course there's going to be. We have devoted so much to this game, and we all, every single one of us, love the game of Survivor. And to see someone sitting up there that's not ourselves is heartbreaking, and to have that time cut short is so difficult. And let me tell you, being the first jury member, having to watch all these people get voted out, being out of the game for so long, it's like leaving the club at 9 p.m. It sucks. But despite all of that, I congratulate all of you for your valiant efforts to get to this point. So, first of all, I'm going to address Leah. I've been waiting for about an entire month for this. And the theme of this season is friend or foe. And you made it pretty clear when you voted for me at the merge that you are a foe. In the pre-merge, I knew that you were gunning for me. You had told Meredith that you were wanting to write my name down. She stopped it. If she didn't stop it, you would have voted for me. And I decided to keep you over Julia anyways, and I was completely honest with you. I know it was a mistake, and I trusted you, and I was completely honest with you about everything. From Nori's proposition of an all-guys alliance that me and Jacob told y'all about, even our strategy at the merge of staying together as a tribe, I was honest with you, and you still betrayed me. And I'm incredibly sorry to Julia for ever voting her out over you, because I know now that you are the snake. And I'm even sorry for voting Nori out, even though he made an idiotic mistake by talking to Luke. I mean, who does that? I'm very sorry to Michael, because at that first tribal council, I know I should have written your name down over his. From the beginning, I found our tribe to be a pretty funny role reversal of stereotypes, because y'all were like, the nice girl best friends. And while Meredith was blonde, she played a very smart, strategic game. And you played more like a Disney blonde than anything. You saw a shiny object and you reached for it without even thinking about it. Will shows you something, hey, Dave was planning on writing your name down. That was a lie. That was for him to get you over to their side. And yet you still took it, you still went after that shiny object. And now half this jury is super pissed off at you. It's just a fact. I want to say that my blind side, that was Will's move. That was him orchestrating you to vote against me. That was not your move. It's not part of your resume. That's entirely on him. And good job. You blindsided me, man. You're a king at this game, man. I'm sorry you're not sitting out there. I would vote for you, man. Not only that, but you orchestrated this alliance of people who were less good at the game to take out everyone who's remotely interesting. And by the time Will was voted out, there was nobody that I wanted to win the game at all. My question for you is, what was your thought process on how you put these people on the jury, your jury management? And I know you don't watch a lot of Survivor, so I'll try to reframe this so you'll understand a little bit better. Jury management is making sure that the people you put up there are going to vote for you in return. What was your thought process on how you took me out and how you took Meredith out? You and her were such good friends and you just betrayed her at the drop of the hat. Y'all had movie nights together.
I'd like to speak yet.
Yes, you're allowed to speak now because that's the question.
Okay, first off, can you tell me honestly, if we had made it like you wanted to do all feely, would you have voted me out first when we made it to the final five?
I'll admit, that's not how questions work. Yes, you will.
Well, rhetorical question. There's my rhetorical question. I knew that going forward. Jacob literally put out your name the same week that I was considering it. I'd also been talking to Will since before the pre-merge, so I had already had this lined up. Also, Meredith, I am very sorry. I had no intentions to vote you out.
I know, I took myself.
But yes, you kind of took yourself out. I wanted to keep you in. I really, really did. But I'm so sorry. That's what I have to say.
I asked you a question about why you think that your jury management is good enough to get you to win this game.
I never said my jury management was good enough to win this game.
My question originally was, what was your thought process on how you put people here?
I will go through. I already explained my reasons. I knew you already wanted me gone. I was at the bottom of your list of people that you trusted or wanted in. You would always constantly talk English, with Cassandra, Jacob, and Meredith, and I always felt out of the loop. I would say you did not do a good job of making me feel included, and you kind of pushed me to the other tribe. Kayla talked to me more than you did. Also, I'm talking. Meredith, I explained you. Sarah, it was me or you, and I'm sincerely sorry for that. It was either write my name down or write your name, and I hope you appreciate that. Jonathan, I would have voted for you all the way. I think you played a great game, and I think everybody can realize why we wanted to vote you out. This wasn't just me voting, it was everyone voting. I was always on the majority. There were always people voting with me. Third of all, Will, I'm so sorry. I wasn't sure if I could trust you. You're a racing guy. I still would have voted for Jonathan. I'm sorry. I'll be completely honest. Jacob, you put my name down too. So you backstabbed me too. So it was a two-way street. Charlie, you played a great game, and it was Final Four, and it was me or you. I'm sorry again. That's how Survivor is. It's a brutal game. So jury management, I would say, sometimes you don't have a choice, and it's not just me voting.
I would like to make a brief response to your statement about not feeling included. It's because you didn't reach out to anyone except her on our tribe. You didn't reach out to anyone. That's why you didn't feel included, because when we had our meeting as a tribe feeling, you were so disconnected you didn't care. She dragged you along through the entire pre-merge. But any other response to that, because I'm about to get to Kayla?
in my defense, I had no idea what I was doing, so I was trying to figure out Survivor, and I would say I did actually talk to people, but okay.
Okay, Kayla. First of all, I'm happy that you're speaking up at this tribal council. Don't be afraid to speak up, girl. You know, speak a little louder, be a little louder. And there is an old proverb that I think equates to you very well. A foolish man knows little but says a lot, and a wise man knows a lot but says a little. And in a way, I think that saying very little and basically flying under the radar is a good strategy. But my qualm of writing your name down is that I don't think that you've done too much, aside from your alliance with Leah, to win this game strategically. So what did you as a player bring to this season of Survivor, individually, not with Leah, on your own?
All right. Well, first of all, I was the one who sent out the first text to create the alliance with Sarah and Jonathan and Will. And my idea to vote out Sarah to begin with, because she wanted to control the game over me, and I knew that if she stayed in the game, that I would never win, or she would take credit for everything that I did. This one kind of involves Leah, though.
I'm talking how you separate yourself from her and show that you are a better player than she is, because you're pitching your case, not y'all's case.
Well, I guess, okay. It was my idea to like have Leah like talk to Will and to make Will think it was his idea to bring Leah over to our tribe and to make our so that people wouldn't know about Leah and I. But yeah, and I've also won immunity.
All right. That's true. You're the only person up here who's won immunity. Fun stat. Every single person up here, before they're voted out, they won immunity, except me. So, Cassandra, I have a statement for you. Me and you, we played this game together from day one, and I really wanted to go to the finals with you and Jacob. And even though we can't be there, I'm incredibly happy to see you sitting up there in the final three. And from day one, when we messed up on the puzzle, we both, and specifically you, were in a vulnerable position. But that first week of strategy that exploded, your name never came up a single time. Even at the merge, when I got blindsided, my first thought was, you're next. You and her are next. You not only managed to find the hidden immunity idol, but you integrated yourself back into the majority, vote after vote, even when you were left out of it. You have continually shown that you can work your way right back to the right side of the numbers, even when you lose your tightest alliances with me, Meredith, and even when you lost Michael at the very first vote. From what I've seen, these players, the last few members of the jury, they have completely underestimated you. You are by far the most honest player out here, and everything about your game was genuine. While you were loyal to the alliances that you built, these two backstabbed their closest friends. And while you found a real idol, Charlie was bluffing about his fake ones. Not to slam you, Charlie, I love you, man. Appreciate it. But your game was infinitely more genuine than anybody in the Final Four, and I feel like the only person in this Final Five that could have beat you was Jake. He's on the jury. You might not have played the flashiest game, but you were honest, genuine, and you were truly a friend amongst foes, which is what this season is all about. My only qualm, though, about voting for you is that you made some odd strategic decisions throughout your game, but I want you to highlight for me what you did right. What was the best strategic move you made throughout the entire game?
All right.
Pre-merger.
So first I'd like to bring out the fact that like I came into this game without knowing anybody. I'm such an introvert, and so me going out into a game that's so social and then involves talking to people and making alliances with people is first just a big step. And they even proved to themselves that they couldn't have done this game without each other, because they literally came together, they talk about each other, but they don't have anything distinct that they did in and of themselves. They said that they did everything together. So when they're reaching out to you guys, they did it as a team. They did it as this, they did it as that. Whenever they FaceTime me, they called me together. I don't think I ever really talked to them separately, because they were always like, oh, we want to make an alliance with you. Let's bring both of us so that we can talk with you at the same time. But as for talking with them separately, they didn't want to do it. And also, whenever I told them anything, they would go to each other and tell them that. So it just goes to show that they couldn't have done this game without each other. And that's one of the main things that I'd like to point out. As for things that are impressive, of course, there are things that I did wrong. There's things that I fumbled, as like each one of us did here. I don't think any of us had a perfect game, and obviously you guys played a more flashy game than I did. But by staying under the radar, and even after I lost alliance after alliance, like first I lost Michael and Julia, and I was like, okay, so I have Dave got voted out. I had Meredith and Jacob, they got voted out. And even Charlie, I was aligned with him and he got voted out. So it's just one of those things that even through all of that, I managed to stay in the majority, and I managed to stay in this game, even when like I may have been on the chopping block. And for the first 2 votes, no, I wasn't on the majority, but that isn't a thing that has to happen. I don't have to be on the side of every vote. If anything, that just shows how I'm able to get out of a tight position, because I was in a dangerous spot because you guys wanted to vote me on next. I know you did, but I found an idol, and even though I played it when nobody voted for me, I don't think, if I wouldn't have played that idol that night, I don't think he would have sent me to Exile Island. I don't think Will would have sent me away, just because I would have still had something that he'd been like, oh, we can try to get rid of it this week. So even though it may seem like, why'd she play the idol then? She didn't play this game well. I did things, little things that you may not notice because you were doing things yourself that were flashier and bigger. And yes, you won immunity challenges, but there are the little things that you don't even notice that I did, and that you not noticing me and you just kind of like overlooking me like, oh, we can deal with her later. She has an idol, she got rid of it. We can deal with her after she comes back from exile. It just goes to show how much you overlooked me and how much you didn't think that I'd have a chance to be up here to win this game. Even they said when we were out there for 3 hours standing on, like touching this statue, the question was asked to Kayla, and it was like, oh, who do you think will get no votes when they make it to the final 3? And they said my name. So that just goes to show you how nobody thinks I have a chance here, but when I present all of these things to you guys, no, it may not be flashy. No, it may not have been like, oh, I directly targeted someone. That's how you guys got out. You guys were targeting people, you guys did all of this stuff, which caused you to go out. And by me not doing that and being like, sure, I'll vote with you, I have my own ideas, of course I talk to other people, but by staying loyal to my alliances until they either lied to me or betrayed my trust, and by going along with the vote, I'm here, and obviously you guys aren't, so it must have worked out for me. And I will say, like, sincerely, like, you guys think that I voted for Sarah on that one day, but I left the vote completely up to seeing who I could trust. That was a strategic move for me to see who in this game I could trust. So I threw my vote on you. And you guys thought that Charlie voted along with you guys. No? Sure seemed like it. So no, I didn't win an immunity challenge, but there are so many people in Survivor history that have gone and have made it through without winning immunity challenges. And it's not because they're the flashiest player or this, it's because they got through and they made their way through without making a big star out of themselves.
I'm very glad you pointed out your singularity, because you made moves and we rode each other's coattails pretty much to the end. All right, and I have a final statement. I'm sorry. I love y'all. All right. So the main narrative of this season was friend or foe. Who can you trust and who's just a snake in the grass? Survivor is a complex game because you need to trust somebody, but you can't trust anybody. Some people here have proven themselves to be foes and backstabbers and liars who didn't play honorably, even voting people out in the harshest of circumstances, like on the day of their father's funeral. Others have presented themselves as friends, trustworthy players who stay true to their alliances and work through the difficult votes. But really, I believe that there are 2 kinds of players, lions and hyenas. There are the lions, great players who clearly know how to play the game and were fluid in strategic and social situations. Then there are the hyenas, people who played lackluster games and knew they stood no chance unless they were amongst the worst of the worst. At the merge, the hyenas banded together and took out the lions for being big threats, 1 by 1. The entire strategy post-merge was basically to steamroll anybody who played a decent game at all. It might appear as though all of the lions have been decimated, but to that, I disagree. I believe that amongst the hyenas, there is one lion sitting among you tonight. One person who stayed true to who they are, played well strategically and socially, overcame difficult situations, and is worthy of the title of sole survivor. As for the other 2, in some words that you might hear later tonight, you can savor the tactless victory of getting to this point. But truly, to all 3 of you, congratulations. This is an incredibly difficult game, and win or lose, it was an honor to play with all of you. Thanks.
All right, Meredith, you'll be up next.
Congratulations on making it to the final 3. I want to start off, I'm not upset by how or when I went out of the game. I'm totally aware that it was my own doing that caused my early exit. What I kind of am upset about is that you 3 are the 3 to represent this season. It's nothing personal, simply just poor gameplay. A lot of the people here have openly said that they wanted to take a lot of you guys to the final 3. simply because they knew that they could beat you and that you guys were the GOATs this season. If you haven't seen Survivor, GOAT is not greatest of all time. It's someone that you take to the end because you know they're an easy win against them. Some people have even gone as far to say that Michael has played a better strategic game than some of you. With that being said, I have no idea what individually specific things you guys have done, but what I want from each of you guys is to take yourself out of the final 3. Who would you vote for out of the other 2? Again, I want individual reasons as to why. I know we're all learning that you guys are a pair, or have been a pair, but basically, what if you would have picked Kayla, what did she do individually, and vice versa? And then Cassandra, out of them 2, which one would you have picked to win?
So, I mean, out of the both of them, to be quite honest, this isn't just me like saying this, they're kind of an equal thing because like they mentioned and like I saw throughout the game, they work together for a lot of things. So I feel like the things that they have to present and the things they brought forth to the table are kind of equal. And it doesn't like, neither of them overly like impressed me, but I think that because of the move that Leah made at the beginning of the merge, I'd probably just lean more towards her because her, whatever she did is more noticeable than what Kayla did.
Kayla?
Yeah, I would vote Leah because she made that big move at the very beginning and flipped on her tribe at the merge. And also she's been pretty true like in our alliance. Like, yes, we're in an alliance together, but we're also both here. So that goes to show you that we didn't flip on each other.
Honestly, I'd probably go with Kayla, not just because we're friends, but like, I'll be honest, I've said this as much as my confessionals, I haven't really seen any strategic play from you, Cassandra. Like, I was trying to think of moves you've done. I like a lot of them, like, I always saw you as riding Dave's coattails up to pre-merge, and after that, after the merge you were kind of floundering. But that's how I saw it personally.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Congrats.
All right, thank you, Meredith. All right, Sarah, you're up next.
Was it 2 minutes?
Congratulations on making it to the final 3. The other jurors are probably going to ask you a lot about your strategy, but I specifically am going to be asking about the final 8 vote, which was my vote out. These are words from my sister-in-law that she would like for you guys to hear. She said, "I would like to take a moment to congratulate the remaining participants for getting to this stage in the game. As you fondly look back at all you've overcome and achieved, I invite you to pause and reflect. Reflect on your coldly calculated strategies that drove you to conspire against a competitor even while she mourned the loss of her father. I was there the moment she got home from her father's repast, and only to find out she'd been voted off and unable to defend herself. Truly remarkable. Your insatiable competitive spirit made your cold hearts impenetrable by your opponent's grief. Bravo. The bloodshed of war would surely be perceived as too merciful, for even they have the Geneva Convention to protect their integrity in battle. Cheers to you. Savor the tactless victory." So, Cassandra, you're the only one up here who didn't vote for me, so none of these words really apply to you. But I still do question your idol play, and in my eyes, it was a waste. But you were also the only player to find a hidden immunity idol, and you played a clean game. And you came into this week with no alliances, so kudos to you. Leah, you're the only one here who made attempts to make Survivor game moves. Bravo. But your game just seems to be too uncoordinated, reckless moves that favored in your way. When the idea of voting me came out, what went through your head? Why did you agree to it?
I agreed to it because I knew everyone else wanted to vote out myself. So the way I saw it is either I write my own name and you write, or write your name. Sorry, English. That was the only thing that went through my head.
Kayla, the theme of this season is friend or foe, and I'm not the type of person to hold grudges, but I do need to get clarification on your gameplay. It's very clear that you and I were close friends, but you definitely turned into a foe, and I think you didn't just blindside me when you voted me out. You also blindsided the production and the audience. At the final 8, I was asked about balancing friendships and Survivor strategy, and answered with, if people are real friends, it won't matter after the game, which is why I don't hold a grudge, but other jurors might. You also just spoke at the last tribal council about loyalty and alliances. In your alliance with Jacob, Charlie, and Leah, how were you so willingly to make a plan to vote me out and not vouch to me, and not vouch to the other 3 to keep me around? It was one of my dad's last wishes for me to finish strong in this game, and I had no chance to even do that. Minutes before tribal, you and I were on FaceTime, and you lied to me the entire time. Please walk me through how you were able to cold-heartedly do that and vote me out on the day of my dad's funeral with no purpose.
Well, to be honest, I came up with the plan to vote you out like a couple of weeks before that. And it was just because there was something that you said where you were talking about like you wanted to be in control of the game. And at the end of the day, it is just a game. And that's kind of like what my viewpoint on this was. It was never anything to like attack you. And like you're one of my greatest friends, Sarah, seriously. So like I'm not trying to like come at you by voting you out by any means. And at the time, we did think Will had an idol. It would have been Will out if like he hadn't done the whole fake idol thing at the time. So yeah, I mean, yeah, that's kind of what went through my head when I was voting you out. But thank you, Sarah.
Right. Let me give a brief statement to each of you. To Leah, I just wanted to say that I do give you credit for the merge vote, and I understand why Dave would prefer not to give you credit for that, but especially upon finding out that you and Kayla had a bond, I definitely see that as your move, for better or for worse. I just wanted to say that. To Kayla, I wanted to say that I thought you did a great job tonight at the previous tribal council. I thought, I was impressed that you won the challenge, and I thought you did a great job of keeping cool, letting the other three kind of look foolish, to be honest. To Cassandra, I want to say that since this is a game of Survivor, and there is survival as the main theme of the game, I just want to say that I think you did the best job of surviving. And when I look at the three of you, and really the final 5, you were the only one who was doing surviving week to week because you didn't have something handed to you on a platter. It's mind-boggling to me that upon this revelation that Kayla and Leah were linked before the game, that you guys see that as some sort of impressive thing, when in fact it's just yet another handicap on your way to the easiest path to the final 3. My questions are, to Cassandra, on the night that you played your idol, I called you a couple hours before. I said, we have numbers for Leah. If you want to flip your vote to Leah, she will go home. If you want to play your idol, you'll be safe anyway. I think I made up a story and said that Leah was going to vote for you. Walk me through how that call factored in your decision, and if it really was a decision between play my idol or vote Leah, why did you choose to play your idol? But I imagine that it was deeper than that. So.
Of course. Originally, I thought that I was, in a sense, on the chopping block, so I went around with everyone. I'm like, okay, if I'm on the chopping block, I'm going to use this idol as best as I can, or I'm just going to play it in a strategic way. I went around, I told everyone that I had an idol, and I originally had the plan of being like, hey, I think it should either be Will or, I did say Leah, so either Will or Leah should go home because I know that some people had mentioned her name. And originally that was a great plan, we were going to do that, but everybody decided to go for Sarah for some reason when we initially thought we were going to split the votes between Will and Sarah to try to get Will out on majority. But as for specifically to your question about the call, so your last call there, so everyone that I was aligned with, they told me, don't play your idol. And that wasn't even something that you said. This was each of them individually texted me. Yeah. And when you're thinking in the game of Survivor, and when you're thinking of just watching the show, when someone tells you not to play your idol, does that actually want to make you stop playing your idol? I will say that it was probably a dumb move to play it. But even though it may have been a dumb move to play it, I honestly believe that it ultimately led to me being exiled, which worked out for the best. Not worked out for the best, but you did end up getting voted out by it, and it led to Will being voted out. So even though it may not have benefited me there, I did think it benefited me in the long run, just because if I had kept the idol, I would have continued to be a target. But by getting rid of it and people being like, oh, she made a really dumb move, it in a sense got people off of my back because they're like, oh, she's not going to win if she makes it to the end. It got people off my back. It led to me being exiled. And even though in the game of Survivor it may be considered dumb, ultimately it's better than having an idol in your pocket because people then would vote for you. And after it's gone, they would continue to vote for you. So yes, it was more of a thing of it may have been some of you, it may have been some of them. But I think it was a smart decision for me to throw my vote on Will last minute, just because it gave Charlie the opportunity to be like, hey, are you keeping true to your word? Can I trust you in this game forward? Or are you going to turn with the people that you potentially had an alliance with beforehand? So that's just my thought process through that entire vote.
Yeah. Again, I really commend the fact that you survived every vote. I'm glad you touched tonight in your opening statement about being an introvert and the difficulty of that. But, sorry. I would say, one thing that makes me hesitate to vote for you is that I never felt like warm about working with you because I felt like you were always a little bit cold to me, and I understand why now. My question to Kayla, I had a long question about your vote out of Sarah. That was a slimy move to me, and I had a whole long question about why you did it, but there's a little bit more clarity on that now. I was hoping you would kind of be in some form regretful of that. I see that you're not, and I understand your thought process behind that. So my question now to you is, you took credit for starting the alliance of Sarah, William, and myself. Walk me through how that did anything for your game, because in my mind, you went into the merge with no target, and you simply kept no target all the way through, and you blindsided each of us individually. I mean, neither William and I were really a blindside, but you blindsided all of us when you voted out Sarah. So tell me, if that's a move that counts for your resume, what did it actually do for you?
It kept me in the game, like pre-merge, which is like what I really wanted it for. And then going forward, we also I realized I could trust you guys more than Leah felt she could trust her tribe. So that's why we decided that that she would flip. It easily could have been me flipping on you guys, but I pleaded my case to her and said that I trusted you guys more because of the loop and Charlie split the votes then, that I really trusted you guys.
So maybe it was just a little bit of double security, but it feels like you either could have been a low threat or you could have had a tight alliance, but you really kind of just chose to do both. And I'm not super inspired by either, but I understand what you did, and you made it to the final three, and there was really no doubt in any point in the game that you were going to get to the final three, so I commend you for that. To Leah, my question is, I understand this is not something you're excited about, but you were voted to be the last person that people would want to spend time on an island with. Did that change the way that you perceive your game going forward? Because I feel like that's kind of an important thing to say, hey, wait a minute, if not a lot of people here would like to spend time on an island with me, maybe that should change the way I play. Would you describe your game as villainous? Would you say that you just did what you had to do? Walk me through how you would describe your own game from that point on.
Honestly, didn't want to flip on my tribe right away, but I kind of felt like I had no choice that week, and that's kind of what happened there.
Was that because of Kayla, or was that because of Dave?
Dave.
Okay. So if there was no one on your tribe that you wanted to take out, you would have voted separate from Kayla?
Yes.
Okay.
I had been talking to people from the other tribe in addition to Kayla. It wasn't just Kayla. So I had been talking to other people to kind of feel out what do I want to do post-merge, because I knew I was probably going to go out because that's kind of the feeling I got. I really, really, really love Meredith. I still love you. But I didn't think she wanted to take me very far. Personally, I feel like it was more of a villainous game, not on purpose, but because of some of the choices. I was given options on alliances, and I always had to pick between them, so it always ended up, it felt like it was always blindsiding people, which I think I was I kind of blindsided you. I really was considering you, but I knew you and Will.
The blindside for me was the 7-2 plan on Will, which we ended up flipping thanks to Meredith onto Meredith somehow.
And I was talking to you in the game, when you
Gotcha. Yeah, and that was not a blindside in my mind.
So it felt like I was constantly flipping on people, but at the same time, it kind of felt like I didn't have a choice.
I see that.
So I wasn't trying to play villainous. I really didn't want to. I don't like to be disliked, but it kind of ended up happening that way, especially with the flip. That was one of my biggest concerns going into the flip. I wasn't 100% going to do that from the beginning of the game, but I was considering, will I be able to do anything or stay in for very long if I stay with my tribe?
Yeah, I think you at least have 2 separate games to kind of think about tonight, and my mind is not made up, so please continue to think about your answers.
Mm-hmm.
I do not have big speeches prepared or anything super intense on my mind. However, I do have a couple things that were at least somewhat shocking to me as I've heard just throughout the past the time that we've been discussing y'all's cases to get our votes. And just something that stuck out to me as odd, I guess you would say. Something, Kayla, that you said. You said that you and Leah controlled the game. Those were the words that you said. And that was interesting to me, more so because of the lack of strategy that was presented from y'all's end. And I want you to elaborate on what you meant by you and Leah controlling the game. Now, and I'll admit the flip that Leah made going into the merge was huge. I don't take full credit for it. I would like to say that I had a little bit of say in that. And I did reach out to Leah immediately after we got away from that challenge. So I would like to take at least a little bit of credit for that. But a lot of that had to do with the Alliance, and that's clear now. But aside from that point, is there anything else that you guys would attribute to, or that you would attribute to yourself specifically about how you were able to control the game?
Well, I think that was another reason why I had the alliance with you guys, was to have like one hand here, like Leah was going to be like in with like people from her tribe, and then no one knew about our alliance, so we would go and meet up together and like tell each other what was going on from the other tribes, and then vote with the one that of who we wanted out, basically.
Okay. All right. So moving on, Leah. My question to you is, what was the biggest move that was intellectually conceived specifically and exclusively by you?
By me.
Yes.
I think everybody knows. I'm going to probably say the Dave move because I think I would have been in a very bad spot if I hadn't done that.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Cassandra, I'll admit, the things that have been touched on already was kind of what I was thinking along the lines of, so I don't want to beat a dead horse, so to speak. I would just like to say the idol move was interesting, to say the least. Believe it or not, it didn't really have as much to do with the exile thing. That had a little bit more to do with numbers, which was just a split-second mistake on my end. But you have survived, just as Jonathan has said, and that is a fantastic observation by Jonathan, that this game is really about surviving. And it is just interesting to me how you were really able to fly under the radar. Is there anything that you would like to point out about your game that you did specifically to fly under the radar, or was that just kind of like a personality thing that you just kind of stepped back and you were like, okay, I'm just going to let them fight it out and I'll just jump in where I need to?
I think there are some points, just like, especially because I was a bit hesitant, not gonna lie, to reach out to you and Jonathan, and when I did, most of the conversations tended to be brief. So after I saw that, I think it was one of the things of like, I had to trust the people that I was aligned with more. I put thoughts in people's minds for like what maybe we should do next, what we should do here. But I let the people that I think everyone else considered as the bigger threats kind of like duke it out and be like, yeah, I know that I'm safe here, and when I'm not, I will try to talk to somebody to try to save myself.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for all of your answers. I am envious of all of you. Definitely, you're all in an admirable position. You've all played well enough to get to the final three, so I applaud you for that. I look forward to seeing how this vote turns out. I look forward to being your friend moving forward from here. So congratulations, guys.
First off, congratulations getting to the final three. Obviously, playing a better game than me once I get there. But I just have like a few things I want to say to each of you, and then a question for each of you. So first off, Cassandra, I think after the merge, and you got through everything, but I think how you got through, I think you might be taking too much credit for it, because I think me, Kayla, Leah, and Charlie had an alliance that was kind of controlling everything at that point. And honestly, at that point, we were like, hey, we just need to get through a couple more weeks until we don't need Cassandra, then we'll Cassandra out. But things happened, and it didn't work out that way. But my biggest question is, do you think was your biggest resume builder coming in to this final three? Because as far as I can tell, I feel like it's just your biggest thing was sneaking by and not really doing anything. I think you kind of pulled together well at the end when you didn't have anything, but I feel like most of your defense has been I've been able to sneak by, not necessarily anything big that you did necessarily.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be about big stuff. Like, I just watched season 20 of Survivor, and the two people that made the two biggest plays in the game, like, I don't know if anyone's like watched Heroes vs. Villains. The two people that made the biggest moves in the game didn't win the game. It ended up being Sandra, who literally didn't really do anything, and she kind of flew under the radar. So I think it's the fact of like flying under the radar isn't a bad thing, and I feel like sometimes people take that as a bad thing. But you even said it yourself. Like, you guys had a 4 alliance. You guys were planning to get rid of me, but obviously that didn't end up happening because I'm here. I don't have to make big moves to be here, and I think that's one of the main things that people have to realize, that like you can make big moves in the game and not win the game, because those moves, while they may be big, could be dumb or could just be unstrategic to your gameplay. So I think the main thing I did in my gameplay was I tried to stay close to friends, and I tried to like even do an alliance with you, and the only reason that I voted you out was because you lied about your idol, and I knew it was fake. So like, to be quite honest, it was just mainly about making friends, flying under the radar, because I knew that's the way that I would get through. And as you can see, a lot of the people that make big moves are voted out here.
Good. Section 2. There's really a lot of connection between Kayla's gift for this. But I think, first off, I think we're all kind of surprised that you guys knew each other before. I think you guys did well hiding that. Specifically to Kayla, I think the biggest thing that you had going for you that I just found out, like coming into stride, is that you had like the persona that you're like honest and trusting and that you're super loyal, which honestly, I think you were secretly the biggest snake in the game because you were always willing to vote out anybody at any time or lie to anybody at any time. And honestly, I think that's a big resume builder because people did not see you in that kind of way. But my biggest thing is, you've talked a lot about how you and Leah were able to get to the final and you're able to sneak under the radar. But with that happening, so you guys are both here, but Leah has made big moves and I feel like you haven't made a lot of big moves. So what do you think you've been able to do to separate yourself from Leah? Specifically after the superlative you got, where it said you were most likely to get to the finals without getting any votes. I was expecting every week, I was worried that you were going to make a big move after that happening, and you never did. So what would you think is your biggest thing to separate yourself from Leah?
I mean, I won immunity, which was kind of a big deal. And my other big move, my other big move, which is like what I've said before, is like the Sarah vote, because I was also close with Sarah, and I did flip on her.
And Leah, honestly, I think you personally, I feel like you've played the best game that I can see so far out of everything. I think you just did a good job making the move first before I did with Dave. You did that behind my back while still keeping my trust, so obviously for that. But I have the same question for you. What separates you from Kayla? Because it seems like your whole argument is I've come with Kayla and I made the Dave move. But how am I supposed to distinguish between you guys besides you made the move for Dave, she made the move for Sarah, so what else how am I supposed to separate you guys?
If you remember back when I was talking to you, like right before we voted out Dave, I talked about you. That's because I was feeling out an alliance with you, because I talked with also Charlie and also Kayla, and I realized that we all were we could potentially have a really good alliance. So I would argue that that alliance was, we all had a part in it, but I'd say I kind of had a hand with that because I brought the idea up to a lot of different people and we all kind of drew together, and that alliance took a lot of us very far into the game. That's another thing I would add to my resume. Also, this week, I'm not gonna lie, if I was in your position, I would have voted for myself, and I kind of guilt-tripped you a lot, and I also tried to play Charlie, but he didn't fall for it. But that was also a strategic move that you did not see because it was behind the scenes. And there were other things that were behind the scenes that I have a terrible memory and I can't really remember everything that's happened. I didn't think I would make it this far.
Awesome. That's it. Thank you.
All right, Charlie, you are our last person to question the final three.
All right, well, first off, congrats. Obviously, it hurts for me probably more than any of them, knowing that I was so close, but so far. So Survivor is all about outwit, outplay, and outlast. Obviously, the three of you guys have outlasted all of us because you're sitting here. But in terms of outplaying and outwitting, this is for Kayla and Cassandra. Your gameplay was basically to fly under the radar, and I get that because to some extent my game was pretty similar. But at what point to you guys does flying under the radar just become getting complacent and letting other people do the work for you and just riding on the coattails of other people?
So, as for that, I don't think I ever became complacent because, like I said, I had a lot of say in just giving my input and giving my opinion on things that did have an effect in changing things. And I feel like one of the things that ended up happening and not being complacent is yes, this vote tonight when I voted for Leah and didn't vote for you and it ended up being a tie. I knew that by voting you out and putting your name down, that by taking both of these two, as it did prove to be correct, by taking both of these two to the final, it proved that they were very close, that they were kind of inseparable, and a lot of the things that they did cannot be distinguished. Let's say I brought you instead of bringing Leah, she would have had distinguished things that she could have claimed for her own, but I think that was one of the things that's I was never complacent. You just don't see the stuff behind the scenes that I ended up saying to people or that I do with people because I talk to you.
All right. Kayla, what about you? What would you say draws the line for you between passive gameplay and going under the radar as a bigger target or a bigger threat than people think you are?
I mean, I think kind of like what Cassandra said, when you put a bug in someone's ear, you tell somebody who you think the next person to go out should be. And I think one way of doing that is also meeting up with people. And our 4-person alliance was kind of a big one from that because nobody knew about it. And yeah, I think there's power in like bringing up someone's name, even if it's just in an alliance or to a single person. It doesn't matter. But yeah.
All right, and this one's for you, Leah. I think that you have played a better game than those two simply because you've been the one kind of calling the shots when compared to those two. I feel like if me and Jake, or if the two of you had been controlling the game, then me and Jacob might still be up there. Because I think me and him pulled a lot of the work in that alliance, you know, as far as Will, Jonathan, and to some extent you, Sarah, even though we weren't the masterminds behind that one. So how would you respond to that?
I chose a couple of people that I really trusted to talk to. One of them was Jacob. I did say in one of my confessionals, I trusted you almost as much, if not more, than Kayla, because I knew this week that she would probably vote for me because I knew I couldn't trust her. So you were probably my number one. I trusted him more than you. Sorry, Charlie. So I kind of talked to certain people. I talked to certain people more than other people. Also, I would argue, I'm sorry again, Meredith, but that was kind of my idea to go with Meredith because I wasn't sure what was the safe route. So I kind of brought that up. So I have brought things up to the table and I have called a couple of the shots, not all of them. And I will repeat, I never thought I was in control of the game. I realized this is a team game. You're never going to win with just one vote. You need everyone, and I realized that. So thank you all for bringing me here.
All right, that's all I got. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Charlie. All right, we're gonna have final statements from the final three. This is your last chance to defend why you should win the title of Sole Survivor, why you outwitted, outlasted, and outplayed a better game than two people sitting next to you. Leah, we'll start off with you.
I think I played a better game than the other two sitting here. I think I've distinguished myself more than Kayla has. I think I've done more strategic moves than Cassandra has. I did. Some of you might not see. I know you too saw it the way that I was flipping between alliances, but that's because you guys didn't realize I was in a very tight alliance with Jacob, Charlie, Kayla, and myself. So I was continually staying loyal to them. I should have opened my mind more and saw how you perceived it. But my goal was to hop with you for one vote and then go back to my main alliance. That was the goal there. So I'd say to a point I was loyal to the people that I trusted and I really liked. And Jacob, I really wanted to take you to the end, but I had a feeling that you were going to vote for me. And that ended up being true. So I would say to the people that I was loyal to, I was loyal to them. Sorry for not talking to more people. That seems to be where I lacked.
All right, thank you, Leah. Kayla?
I also think that I played a pretty loyal game as well because obviously Leah's still here and I had every chance to vote her out tonight and I didn't. I also think I definitely outplayed because I was the only one here who won immunity, which I think is kind of a big deal. Yeah, that's it.
All right, thank you, Kayla. Cassandra?
All right, so that's for everything. I know a lot of you have thoughts of like, hey, Leah did outlast you. But to be quite honest, from my perspective and the way that she's approached me, or like both of them when they approach me, they seem kind of squirmish. And I know that throughout it and like how everything's been going, it's like I've tried to stay firm. Like I may seem like, oh no, what do I do? But I've known what I wanted to do throughout this game and like how I wanted to play. And while I may not have won immunity, while I may not have taken big chances or done all of these things, like I said, that's what got you guys out. And I think that me staying stronger and like watching kind of them skirmish a little bit and making it this far is one of those things that I think distinguishes me. And especially like when she was saying alliances, like I honestly see that I probably kept more alliances than she kept and kept my word more than anyone else in this final three or anyone out there probably has, just for the fact that like I wanted to keep true to my word. And yes, obviously that doesn't happen always in Survivor. Like of course I told lies. I'm not going to be like I told the truth every time. But it was a thing of like if I made an alliance with you and I told you I trusted you, I did trust you until you betrayed me or until you lied to me with certain things like idols or with things that may have happened. They were saying that they're this big, I don't know why they keep bringing up this big four alliance, because they voted you guys out and I managed to get in that big thing in there. They ended up like telling me they wanted to work with me, and even if that would have been a lie, I'm still here. Like they may think that I don't have a chance or I don't have this, but they ultimately like voted you guys out and they kept me along, which says something about what they think about alliances and trust. So that's just what I have to present.
All right, thank you, Cassandra. All right, guys, it will be time to vote for one last time, except this time you want to see your name on that piece of paper. If your name is written down and you're voted, you will be the title of Sole Survivor.
Jury, I'm going to give you guys a moment to gather your thoughts, but please do not talk amongst yourselves. This is an individual decision based off everything that you've just heard. It is up to you to decide who is going to represent your season as the winner. Who was outwit, outplayed, and outlasted the best out of Cassandra, Kayla, and Leah. Let's vote.
To a friend amongst foes and a lion amongst hyenas, I am so proud of you. Congratulations.
Leah, I think you're the only one deserving of this, if you're gonna be honest.
All right. After 11 weeks of playing Survivor LU, the time has finally come to figure out who will be named sole survivor of friend or foe. Let's get to the votes. First vote, Cassandra. Leah. Cassandra. That's 2 votes Cassandra, 1 vote Leah. Leah. That's 2 votes Cassandra, 2 votes Leah. Cassandra. And the winner of Survivor LU Friend or Foe, Cassandra. You're about to begin!